Hello and welcome to another episode of my Facts and Glitches series, where I showcase some more of what I've learned about GTA 5 in my over 10,800 hours of playing the game and from my awesome viewers. Despite that some missions are locked to particular characters, it is actually possible to play effectively any side mission as any character.
You two losers cannot be for real.
You first need to go to the side mission on the map with the intended character, and then attempt to launch a mission replay of a different side mission, but don't confirm to start it. This is all that is necessary to confuse the game into not despawning any side missions that you load onto the map. This then means that you can bring along a different character and start the mission. Unfortunately, the mission cutscene will still appear the same, outside of the mission text being a different color, but the gameplay will use the different character.
You're a real pillar of the community.
I reckon you should tag along next time I go hunting out at Paleto Bay. I'll show you how to bag an elk.
Why not?
You can of course complete the missions, and your story progress will count. There doesn't seem to be any practical reason to do this, but it is amusing. Surprisingly, for mission fails that involve a death, it will actually acknowledge that you are using a different character.
Excuse me, sir, can I talk to you for a second?
The fuck are you talking about?
I am talking about a hotline straight to heaven.
The only side missions this doesn't work for are those involving Tanya, likely because each character has individual interactions with her.
Ew, what exactly are you on, lady?
I'd like to be on you, sugar.
I've got very low standards, but even I ain't gonna sink that low.
On the mission Father-Son, Michael pulls up behind his boat so that Franklin can jump onto it. Surprisingly though, Franklin doesn't care about the height of Michael's car relative to himself. He will jump so long as Michael is directly behind the boat.
I ain't jumping for here, man. Get close. I ain't jumping for here. Get close.
All right, time to get the boat back.
A similar effect can be seen if you're driving above the boat. Of course, you can't do this during vanilla gameplay, you have to mod in a platform.
Hey, closer, man. Closer. Fuck. Hey, closer, man. Closer. Fuck.
I was honestly surprised I had not heard of this previously, but cars have a higher top speed outside the city than they have within it. Using the same vehicle with the same track, you can see while in the countryside this vehicle gets 194, but within the city it gets 186. Another example, the Comet gets 177 in the countryside, but 170 in the city. In fact, this difference is obvious if you just drive on a flat piece of road from one side of the map to the other. At around the halfway point, your car will just start going faster. Surprisingly, it doesn't work for bikes though. Under normal circumstances, if you shoot someone with a stun gun, they will immediately ragdoll and die. But the mission Fresh Meat has a handful of enemies that are programmed to die in particular ways, and so they have their ability to ragdoll disabled. They are therefore the only enemies able to remain standing while being stunned.
In case you ain't figured out, I ain't paying no rent. Time to release this dude.
You want me to waste a boyfriend?
Fucking pop this guy already!
Tomato!
Jesus!
Tomato!
Franklin, come on, kid!
Sometimes when you call side characters during the game, you'll hear a voicemail message.
Hello, friend. I cannot pick up the phone. I will call you back sometime. Wait! 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 It's Wade! This is a humiliation too far. No one in this town answers their own phone. And I'm supposed to be on my own answering machine?
Surprisingly, the voicemail lines for the three main characters were cut from the game. There is some part of them still left over though. If you start a hangout,
Cool, I'm coming by.
go to the hangout point, and then attempt to cancel the hangouts, the subtitles for these lines is still shown. unable to take your call. If it is important, I'll get back to you. This happens for every character when you try to cancel a hangout while too close to them, and there is no other context in the game where these voice lines attempt to play. But as a comparison, this is what it sounds like when you cancel a hangout away from the hangout points.
Got some bad news. The state of ours ain't happening. Sorry.
All right, I'll do something else.
Once you board the tram and it reaches its destination, it is possible to block the door and take advantage of the fact that police are unable to see within the tram due to an invisible wall. You can therefore shoot anyone outside of it without fear of death.
Move up! You turds! Loser! Cover me! You're going down!
The Zentorno's quad exit exhaust upgrade has a non-functional exhaust pipe. As many of you likely know, if you don't have a wanted level and get attacked by a pedestrian, if the police are around, they will defend you.
Scumbag. Useless piece of shit. Bad motherfucker, huh?
I'll show you how we do it.
What you might not know is that they will not defend you if you're hit by a firefighter or a paramedic.
Damn, come on now. Come on the earth. Let's get this party moving. You want to tussle? Come on then. Oh, shit.
Asshole!
In fact, even threatening either will lead to an immediate wanted level if any police are nearby.
And fuck you, dick! Okay then, badass. Holy shit! You up. You got nowhere left to go. I ain't backing down for shit.
On the subtle Big Score Heist, if you pick a low-skilled driver specifically for your first driver, he will be arrested during the drive, causing you to lose all his gold.
Driver number 1 takes the wheel in the 4th getaway car, is going to be at the bank with you and help loading. They're a key part of this.
We're about to pull left. Yes, team leader. Oh, crap!
Hands up in the air, now!
Surprisingly though, you can actually stop him from being arrested by just killing him earlier. Rather than failing the mission as you would expect, it actually lets you continue and complete the mission. In fact, if you pause the game, it shows him still being alive where you killed him. What's more important is that while Trevor will still say his line,
We just lost a quarter of the middle.
because the interaction between the driver and the police never occurred, you do not actually lose his gold.
I don't want to ask a dumb question here, but
As you can see, the money dropped is no longer there, but the game considers Krim to have lived, so the crew cut goes up. I am sure you are aware of the Ragdoll mechanics in GTA Online, but you might not know that entering and leaving your acid lab significantly changes them. You will no longer fall off cars if you stand on top of them, instead you will remain perfectly stable. Furthermore, you will survive normally lethal hits from vehicles. On the mission Father-Son, it is possible to get free reign of the map and see where Michael's boat ends up by soft-locking the game. Once Franklin has climbed onto the hood of your car, you can bump him into a wall, causing him to stand up. This allows you to push him off the hood of your car, and surprisingly, he just gets back into his seat. What's changed is that the game never expected this outcome to occur, so there are no possible fail triggers that can happen from this point on. In this state, you can go any way you want, but if you do follow Michael's boat, you will find that his boat ends up in the middle of the road when the truck that is pulling it becomes decoupled from it. Arriving at Fresh Meat with Trevor enables you to see that other characters who have their phones out will often have their screens mimic yours when they're nearby.
This is Cletus.
Surprisingly, you can shrink your phone. First go into first person mode, then open your email, exit, and then switch back into third person. A before and after shows that there is a significant size decrease. Thankfully, this effect can be undone if you simply enter your email again or just put down your phone and bring it back up. On the mission friend request, you obviously don't want to draw attention to yourself, but the game is inconsistent in punishing you for it. You can, for example, arrive at the Life Invader building blaring your horn without issue, but if you arrive using any siren, even that of the tow truck, it will cause a mission fail. This is actually fairly unusual, as for example, a siren will not cause you issue when breaking into Michael's house on Complications. On the side mission Minuteman Blues, Manuel tasks Trevor with dealing with the civil border patrol that are doing little else but harassing and endangering people.
Perhaps now you want to kill me.
Yeah, maybe, old man. Maybe not.
You and your civil border patrol friends, you're all the same.
Fuck you!
You want to...
Fucking die.
You don't scare me.
The game obviously doesn't want you to kill Manuel, so anything done to him fails the mission. If, however, for some reason you wanted to kill him, these fail conditions stop functioning if Trevor is any significant distance away from Manuel, allowing him to be killed. You can then still complete the mission as normal.
Stay out of this, you dumb Canadian! Oh, you just made this real easy for me!
Civil Border Patrol disbanded.
The Yuga Bravado has an option to upgrade its bodywork to remove the windows, but it turns out that it doesn't remove them very well. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you think you know of anything that could be of interest for this series, feel free to add it to my Discord. I hope you're all doing well.